What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering. We've got some bonus wokeness. That's right, two beloved franchise or cult classic films are now getting, of course, the Hollywood treatment, the reboot. But not just the reboot, we've got to gender swap the lead. Because who needs good writing or inventive new classics when you can just take an old one and run it through the mud with lazy writing and just simply swapping the gender of the hero and expecting everyone to repay to watch a worse movie with worse acting, with worse writing, with worse actors? Well, apparently Zorro is just one of two that will be getting the gender swapped TV reboot. Everyone knows Zororina. She's very well known. Zorro's apparently getting a small screen treatment for upcoming TV series for NBC, and this time the character will be a woman. Thank God. I mean, who doesn't wonder what Zorro would have been like if he had only been a woman? It probably would have been an even bigger classic. Now we'll know. And it's not like we don't have an Ocean's 8 of examples of movies that were much worse with gender swapping. And by the way, I think in any case, it's worse. And not just from male to female. You don't see it female to male, at least that I can think of. But even though movies like Ocean's 8 made money at the theater, was profitable, it received a 45% audience score. We can look at Ghostbusters 2016, perhaps one of the best examples of why you don't simply think that gender swapping the main staff or characters is going to bring people in. That received a 50% audience score after heavy moderation from Rotten Tomatoes. And the fact that the critics gave this movie a 74% is an abomination. Zorro apparently getting the small screen treatment for upcoming TV series for NBC, and this time the character will be a woman. The project comes a part of a first-look production deal between CBS Television Studios and Propagate. Interesting name. The production company led by Ben Silverman and Howard Owens. Developed by Alfredo Barros Jr. of Magnum PI, the reimagined Zorro will reportedly swap the hero with a female protagonist. Rather than the typically mustachioed man and the swordsman is usually depicted as. Yeah, you know, Zorro, the Zorro that everybody knows. This is so frustrating when you could just create a new IP. This is one of the things that, you know, comic book fans forever have been saying the same thing. You know, why not create a new IP? Why would that be so hard? Let me be very clear. Zorro fans are going to have zero interest in seeing a Zorro show that's only offering is a vag. That's their unique spin. That's as a marketer, their USP, unique selling proposition. Yeah, this one's is smooth instead of, you know, that's why you need to tune in every week. While this gives us an all-new version of the classic character, the news is not particularly surprising as gender swap reboots are becoming increasingly common in movies and television. Yeah, stop it. A few vague details about the premise of the upcoming Zorro TV series have also been revealed. Written by and executive produced by Barros, or I don't know, I'm probably not pronouncing that right. It's described as a modern-day retelling of the classic Zorro mythology. The story will follow Z, a female descendant of the warrior bloodline who will go out to great lengths to protect the defenseless in her community. Oh my God, you know, of course, that it's going to be, she's going to be protecting people from the white supremes and the people who wear sheets at night. You know, that's probably what it's going to be. The Zorro character is depicted as a vigilante, often seen wearing a cape, mask, and sombrero. There's no way they're wearing a sombrero in modern day television. That would be offensive. Despite the female character change, it seems probable that this new Z character will carry over some of these traits as it's with a look inspired by the classic Zorro illustrations. At the very least, she'll likely be skillful with a sword. Wow, I can't wait to not watch this. In fact, I can't wait to chronicle its unending ratings disaster as I've been chronicling Superwoman, Supergirl, Batwoman, and The Watchmen, which have reached series all-time lows in week 5 of this year. It's not that the show, has a female lead. That's not why it stinks. The writing stinks. And what it seems like is that Hollywood just expects you to absorb it because woman. And the fact of the matter is, the people that are clamoring for this aren't watching your shows anyway. And speaking of which, remember The Rocketeer? Remember the early 90s cult classic? Well, that's getting a reboot. But you know why you're going to want to watch it this time? Because The Rocketeer is now a black female. That's right. Inventive writing. So brave and stunning, so outside the box that TV, I don't know if I could maybe buy 2 televisions and just put them up next to each other so that they would have 2 people watching this. Disney has plans to reboot the 91 cult classic, The Rocketeer, but with a modern twist, The Hollywood Reporter reports. The studio is developing the movie, this time called The Rocketeers, with a black female in mind. It's so ridiculous and reductive to think that that is the reason that you're going to want to watch the show. It's so boring. It's so lazy. And I can't think of a single example, and there's probably at least one out there, or you'd think that Hollywood would have gotten off this train by now, where people just gender swap the role and it's better. According to THR, the new effort is being written in screenwriting partners Matt Spicer and the son of the Fonz, Max Winkler. The story, set 6 years after the original, will follow a young African-American pilot who takes up the mantle of the Rocketeer to protect the jetpack technology from the evil scientists bent on turning the tide of the Cold War. Of course we're going to get a Mo Russia TV show. The film is still in early development. Oh, it's a movie, not even oh my God, I can't wait. I can't wait to see the trailer. It's going to be unbelievable. The film is still in early development, but Disney has reportedly been bullish on the project after seeing fans of the original come out in force to a screening celebrating its 20th anniversary. Yeah, they're fans of the original, you absolute morons. They're not fans of the franchise. They're fans of the movie. By you simply producing the movie again with, as usual, worse acting, worse writing, worse script, you're not going to capture any of these people. They're not like, oh my God, I'm such a huge fan of The Rocketeer that I'm going to go watch some abomination of the original because reasons. Look at Hollywood right now. Ticket sales are down across the board. Look at what happened to Terminator Dark Fate. $130 million loss with a bloated movie budget, huge marketing budget, and still nobody wanted to see your woke feminator. I wonder why that might be. It's not just because people love Terminator 2. They love Terminator 2 because they loved Arnold Schwarzenegger. They love Terminator 2 because of John Connor and the relationship with Linda Hamilton and the time that it came out. It was lightning in a bottle in a lot of ways. Running it through the ringer year after year after year isn't going to make people get interested in it. And the fact of the matter is, woman isn't enough reason for me to go to the movie theater and pay $15. Anyway, I continue. The Rocketeer, directed by Captain America, and the first Avenger director, Joe Johnston, was adapted from the Dale Stevens 80s comic of the same name. The film was a loving tribute to the pulpy serials of the 30s and 40s, from a soundtrack all the way down to the Art Deco typography used for the title. While it was a mild flop at the time, it eventually earned an adoring following. Casting a black woman to star in the follow-up allows Disney to keep the property alive while also creating an avenue for a new perspective in the same period. Needless to say, we're pretty excited about this movie. First of all, couple of issues. Calling it a reboot and then saying it takes place years after the first one, the same Ghostbusters mistake. Second, of course, baiting the headline. It's a definition, and its definition has become a lot more less the last decade. It's literally just means bringing back any old IP. And if we look at the actual details in the Hollywood Reporter, The project is in early development stages and is being looked at as a sequel reboot, and while being headlined by a black female character who will fight the Nazis. Look at this. It was around the same time that the studio began mulling a reboot of the movie, but sources said in a sought a way to differentiate itself from the other rocket-propelled flying hero, Iron Man. It's so funny that Hollywood, they're so clueless. I'm telling you, unless this film has like a $70 million budget, which it's possible that it could, there's no way that this movie will be profitable. I'll tell you this. If it makes money, I'll go on opening day to see Captain Marvel 2. All right? There is just no way in God's green earth that a Rocketeer reboot whose unique selling proposition is Black Lady is going to make any money. The first original film didn't make any money. Why would you? Are you that low in ideas? Seriously, are you that out of ideas that you're looking at movies that didn't even make money when they were released 20 years ago and rebooting them now expecting for that to make, it'd be like, oh, they're probably going to do this. Bring Back to the Future with none of the original cast and expect it to make money. Nobody that liked Back to the Future 1, 2, or even me who liked 3 has any interest in seeing Back to the Future now without the original cast. Wake up. And then look at this. The new take keeps the story very period setting and offers a fresh view on the characters. Set 6 years after the original Rocketeer and after Seckert has vanished while fighting the bad guys from WW2. Of course, got to have that in the movies nowadays. An unlikely new hero emerges, a young African-American female pilot who takes up the mantle of Rocketeer in an attempt to stop the ambitious and corrupt rocket scientist from stealing jetpack technology in what could prove to be a turning point in the Cold War. Nobody, and I mean nobody, asked for this. Nobody, and I mean nobody, wants to see this film. And there's an unending, look, I mean, it's not like I don't have unending examples of movies. Look at Batwoman. There's no way this show is making money. It has a 12% audience review score and has bled hundreds of thousands of viewers every single week, going down and down and down. Yet the CW renews it. It's like they want to lose money. And again, who on God's green earth was asking for a Zorro reboot? And who of them was asking for it to be a female? The CBS TV Studios is in development of the female-led reboot of Zorro as part of the First Look deal. The Zorro reimagining will be written by and executive produced by this dude nobody cares about or nobody wanted. Additionally, propaganda will be paying for it. I mean, I don't understand in what world the Rocketeer and Zorro need to be remade, and in what world gender bending their roles would help in any way possible. Enjoy these flops. I know I'll enjoy cataloging them. Get woke, go broke. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.